What's going on, everybody? As we all know, rotation did just hit Magic the Gathering Arena, and with rotation, Life Gain lost a very important card in Ajani's Pridemate. But that's okay, because we do not need it anymore, because we have this guy right here. Let's talk about it. Cue the intro. What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for clicking on my video today. I really do appreciate it. In today's video, we have an ORZHOV Life Gain Cleric Tribal deck. I know it's a mouthful, but that is what it is, guys. This deck is super strong and very easy to play. So sit back, relax, and let's talk about the deck list and what we run in the deck. Let's also get into some gameplay footage and then wrap it up at the end with some final thoughts on how we thought this deck played out. Before we do all of those things, though, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, be sure to do so, because if you subscribe, you're 10% more likely to get better top decks. Is that a true statement? Probably not. Let me know. Subscribe and find out. I don't know. Anyways, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So today, like I said, it's all about clerics and life gain. So everything in this deck synergizes and revolves around clerics. Particularly, I'd like to say it revolves kind of around this card right here, Clerics of Lifespawn. With Clerics of Lifespawn, this card is unique in that it's kind of like just like an old Ajani's Pridemate, because whenever you gain a life, you actually put a 1/1 counter on this. The only downside to this card, as opposed to Ajani, is that it can't continuously gain 1/1 counters. It's only when you trigger the first life gain in that sequence. But there's multiple ways that we can actually gain life, not only on our turn, but our opponent's turn, which makes this card excellent. And then also, it has another tied-in ability to it that whenever a cleric enters the battlefield, you gain life. So a little bit of a bonus, a little bit of a, it's like a double-edged sword. It's kind of better than Ajani, but then it's kind of worse than Ajani. So how do we make this card good? Let's talk about it. First off, we're going to drop in some Soulmenders. This is a really cool card for this deck. Not a lot of people have seen or ran this card. It's, you know, M20, and it still hasn't seen a lot of play because it's not that great if you look at it on the surface. It's a 1-drop 1/1, and it can, you know, you can tap it for 1 life. Doesn't sound great, but it's a human cleric, so it actually triggers life gains for our cards. It also has a way to gain life without attacking, which is a beautiful thing if you think about it, because not only can you you know, hold it up for defense purposes, but you can tap it on your opponent's turn to gain life, triggering our clerics abilities on, you know, their turn, doubling up their effects. That's why I said, you know, we have ways to gain life on our opponent's turn. This card is a way to do that. This also synergizes really well because like I said, it's a cleric, and you don't have to attack, so you can actually get in that point of life gain every single turn with our opponent not being able to do anything about it unless they actually remove the card from the field. Up next, we have Speaker of the Heavens. This is another no-brainer cleric. This card is Vigilance Lifelink. It creates 4/4 angels. Once your life total is 7 above the starting 20, so 27 life total, you can start creating 4/4 angels every single turn. Card is very hard to deal with. You have to get rid of it off the field before you get to 7, so forces our opponents to deal with it early. It also, you know, has lifelink as well, and it's a cleric, so all these synergies do apply as well. Super great card, kind of a no-brainer in the deck, to be honest. Up next, we have Oblivion. This one is a new card from ZENDIKAR. It has menace and lifelink with a kicker where you can actually kick it and bring back a card from the graveyard to the battlefield. We actually had an opportunity to play this ability for the Speaker of the Heavens, and our opponent scooped before we had the opportunity. A little spoiler alert, but very sweet card because you can play this on turn 2, and like I said, it has menace, so very hard to block. You get that 2 points of life damage, and you're off to the races, and you start gaining life, triggering the bond, so on and so forth. Our next creature, Kor Celebrant. This is another cleric. It also has a similar kind of effect as Daxos. It's a 3-drop though, not double devotion to white, but every time another creature enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life. Also, when this enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life. So Daxos is a really cool card for this slot, but what makes this card even better than Daxos is that it's a cleric, so it actually synergizes really well with our deck. So this is a much better card, I feel like, for the deck synergies, because once these two are on the field, you're going to get double triggers, and everything's going to gain you life double, you know, double the speed. So that's a really cool card. Up next, we have Vito. This is the main engine piece of the deck to actually damage our opponent. If our opponent is on some creature stuff, it's going to be really hard to deal with it. So the Vito's a nice little way around it. You play the Vito on turn 3, you start gaining life. That life is actually hurting our opponent. We can actually kill our opponent extremely fast because, like I said, this deck gains life super fast. We actually got to like 35 to 40 life on turn 4 or 5 in one game. So we gain a lot of life in this deck, guys. It's really hard to lose, I found out, if you actually have 50 life, and it's your opponent has a hard time dealing with that. So that's what makes this deck so great. Up next we have the Skyclave. So the Skyclave is really cool new card. It's a legendary, so you can only play one at a time. That's why we only run 3 of. It has lifelink and it's a 3/3, but this card is way better than it seems. I read this card a few times. I thought it'd be a good fit because it's a nice new legendary cleric card, but it's way better than you think. If you get a Vito out on the field and they deal with that Vito, guess what? The cleric comes back to the field if it's in the graveyard. If they deal with the cleric, guess what? Speaker of the Heavens comes back to the field. So if you play these in order, these 3 cards here, this deck is hard to beat if you get a Skyclave out on the field because there's nothing you could do. You start dealing with one threat, you get another threat on the board. And turns out if they kill the Skyclave, it actually triggers as well. So it's just really good. All right, so now we get into our utility cards, guys. The cards that are going to not only protect our creatures but deal with their threats on the board. Fight is 1. This is going to be our protection card. This card gives 1/1 to human and non-human creatures, and they gain indestructible to the end of the turn. So this is a good way to protect your creatures, especially if you got really good synergy going and everything's rolling, the ball's churning. It's easy way to protect if they got removal spells. You'll see this card came in big time for us in a couple different games. Soulmender, human, non-humans. So there's definitely times and places almost every time where you're going to use both those triggers, which is really great synergy for the deck. Up next we have Fetters. Fetters. I always have trouble with that name. But anyways, this is an enchantment you put on a creature where not only can they not attack or block now, you gain 4 life, and their activated abilities can't be triggered. Keep in mind, passive abilities still trigger, like Winota, landfall abilities. This card is not great for those, but it's mostly to stop our opponent from blocking. We get in for damage, lifelink, we gain life, we hurt them. It also hurts them if you have a Vito on the field because we gain 4 life. A lot of cool things can come out of this. Here is our weapon against not only Teamer Adventures with their Lucky Clovers, but we found out that we actually, this is pretty good against mono red because you can kill things like Embercleave and Annex and things like that. We misplayed it once or twice in the video, but it's also very good one shot. If you have a Vito on the field and you only need to gain 3-4 life, it's a good way to end the game, one shot. So 3 of those as well. So 3 of each of these utility cards keeps us alive, keeps us dealing with our opponent's threats, and so on and so forth. So then we go to our lands. We have 2 flip lands. Skyclave Cleric, this comes in, you gain 2 life. You can see why that's really good. It's also a cleric. It's all the synergies you want plus a land. So there's 2 of those, and then we also have 2 consumptions. This is a good way to get a big hit at the end for 4 life, hurting our opponent for 4, and it's also a tap land. We're mostly going to use this one for land, but you never know when that could come in handy, so have 2 of those as well. We have 4 Barrens because this comes in, you gain life. And then also we would be running 4 pathways, but we've been eating up our wild cards like crazy lately, so we only have 2 right now. Go ahead and throw 4 in here and then run your lands accordingly. But this is the deck, guys. It's fantastic even without the 2 pathways, and I pretty much destroyed rank with this right away. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue playing this for a little bit and actually gaining my rank up even more. But that wraps up the deck breakdown. We're gonna get into some gameplay footage, and then after that we'll talk about any things that we might change to the deck and how well it played and didn't play, and hear from you guys as well. Before we jump to that though, I forgot to mention too, we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. So if you could just help out by subscribing to the video, it would really help. It's a little bit of a goal that we set for ourselves here on the Hatrick Swayze channel. Also, links in the description below for things like our Twitter, Instagram, and most importantly our Twitch, where we go live every single Wednesday. I'd love to see you guys in there in the evening with me. That'd be really cool. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump into the gameplay footage. Catch you guys at the end. Peace. All right, here we go. We got ORZHOV Clerics on deck, guys. ORZHOV Clerics. I'm excited about this one because ORZHOV got a huge boost in this new ZENDIKAR Rising set. I think it's one of the best tribals for sure out there at the moment. So excited to give this a shot. We had a really cool ORZHOV, life gain deck before, so this is only going to get better, which is awesome. This isn't the best of hands. It's definitely not, but we do go second. Having a turn 1 play is nice. We could draw into more land. We could also hit a 2-drop. Probably not, but we could. Ooh, mono red. Let's hope. Let's hope. Let's play the Speaker of the Heavens first, even though I don't think we're going to be able to get in for any damage. Mono red would be a good matchup, I think, for us. Any sort of life gain deck typically does well against mono red, so. They don't swing in. Interesting. This is a huge find. All right, we've got all the pieces set up now, and we're good to go. Now if we just find another land, and then we find a Vito, we're pretty much really set here. But of course. All right, we're definitely playing this for land. Playing this. And now we can start taking up 1 life, and they can't do anything about it because it's an ability, not an actual attack. So starting next turn, we're gonna get some value out of this guy. Out of, what is his name? Soulmender. Human Cleric, guys. Little common card can get really tricky with this card. Opponent missing a land drop potentially. They probably did because they played 2 castles back to back, so they swing in. Fair enough. Honestly, that does make sense. They pump. All right. All right. I guess we just keep setting up, huh? Keep setting up, doing what we do. Doing what we do. No attacks. Say go. There might be a little too much setup in this cleric deck. I don't know yet, but I think it's going to be okay. I love that the Celebrant here has 4 toughness. That's really, really nice against this matchup here. Because even if we want to block the Arsonist, it can actually deal 1 extra damage when it dies, and it can't kill this still. It's still strong enough. But it could transfer that over to our Speaker of the Heavens. But either way, it's getting stomped out, so that stinks. Nothing I could do. I was looking for something to do, but looks like there's nothing I could do. Activate the ability, gain 1. Man, can't draw a land and can't draw anything worthwhile at the moment. Let's just do what we can do, which is gain a little bit of life. We need to hit something that's either an engine piece or we need to hit another land, because we could play the Skyclave, which would be nice. But another land would be great, so we can Fetters that. All right, there's a land, but that's a slow land. Oh, we forgot to trigger our Soulmenders. Oops, that was a big mistake. It's okay though. That's all right. That's a big mistake. I'm not used to playing with the Soulmenders. I don't think I've ever played with them, so you got to give me a little bit of a slack there for missing that trigger, but 2 health. It happens. But hey, we got the land that we need to play whatever we need now. We could Fetters one of these giants, or we can drop our Skyclave in. Yep, taking 4, that's fine. Gaining 2, if we remember to hit our triggers. They were calculating right there, which tells me they have an Embercleave in hand. They're like, wait, if I swing in with all 4 here, no blocks. All right, trigger these. All right, let's see. Whenever Skyclave another control dies, so do we have? We have a 2-drop in here, so I wouldn't mind throwing this in front of somebody to get this back. That could be kind of cool. That could be a pretty sweet play, actually. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. That's actually a really solid play. So, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna basically throw in our Celebrant right in front of a giant here to absorb the damage, but it's also going to die, which is, this is a 3-drop, so then it triggers our Skyclave here, and we can pull any one of these two out of the graveyard and onto the battlefield, which this card here, I would argue, is a lot better than this card, so. Because it gets extremely large really fast, and it's hard to deal with. This does gain us life, which is really nice, but I think we're okay on the life gain situation at the moment. Oh, they swing all. They definitely have Embercleave. Lock in here. Do they really want to trade? They don't want to put a... No. They don't want to put an Embercleave on the Fervent, do they? Just trying to absorb as much damage as possible here. I don't mind losing one of these. This is going to be a big hit when they drop the Embercleave, though. So that's going to be 10 damage. Yeah, this is going to be tough. So let's trigger this for right now. This too, I guess, because it doesn't really matter. We're going to need it either way. Oh, okay, they gave it to that Bone Crusher. Alright. Got our trigger back. We killed the Fervent, which is nice. Fight as one. That's huge. Huge. We can actually kill the Embercleave now. Let's go. Or we can actually just Fate of Fetters it as well. But then they could just re-equip to something else for 3. But I could do both. Force them to use their mana to switch it over, and then... Yes, yes, yes. Oh, that was huge. That couldn't have been a better draw. Fight as one. So glad I added that card to the deck. End turn. So this is a non-human, and this is a vampire. This is a human. So this will get indestructible, and then one of these two. So more than likely this one is the one I want to put indestructibility on, because it can get bigger during this fight too. I can tap this and make it a 4/4. So we have different options here. They didn't switch the Embercleave over. That seems like a mistake. Oh, they're making some mad mistakes, I think, at the moment. Let's find out. See if I can capitalize. All right, so this could be a 4/4. And it could be indestructible, so could kill. This is life gain 3. Can't pump it. And this has indestructible. But then they could kill this. They could kill this with the Arsonist, so we got to be careful with that move. I think this is all we do here, right? Yeah. Leave the Arsonist be for the moment. So block that way. Do it like that. Do it like that. And let's see, that's an enchantment that can destroy that, which is nice. I think that's probably what we need to do here. I think we need to destroy that. And then all we got to deal with is a bunch of 1/1s now, which is no big deal. No attacks yet. I think starting next turn, we can start swinging in for some damage here. This has been a really kind of a complicated game for mono red versus life gain, but I think we're doing okay. That's not ideal. That kind of was annoying. Anything with flying is kind of not good for us. All right, they're gonna give us 3 life gain again. That's kind of nice. Gonna avoid the Arsonists again, because those can get tricky if you're not careful. block like that. Trigger this. We take all of that, but we gain 3. Boom. They lose a couple creatures. Can't be mad at that. And then we drop this. We drop this. And pass the turn. And then our boy here is 6/6 now, which is beautiful. I wish it had lifelink. That'd be so overpowered. It really would. So we're matched up 20 to 20. I'd say our board state is way juicier than their board state. We got so much life gain going on. We also have another big trigger for life gain for Heliod's intervention, but I would like to play this card with like a Vito out on the field just so I can get a big hit in. But this will have to work for now. Okay, they finally switch it over. We could actually kill that too with this. I'm not even gonna lie, I totally forgot about the Embercleave because I hadn't done anything with it for so long. I guess I should have killed it when I killed the Annex a while ago. Alright, so they're dropping an Arsonist on us now. Man, these Arsonists are tricky, man, because they could deal that 1 damage. And any target, that's a big deal. Like, if I block with the 6/6, they could throw that 1 damage at here, and just stop all kinds of life gain potential, you know? And I don't really appreciate it, to be honest. What do they have? They have a Bone Crusher Giant. Something for 2 that's instant speed. Because they're holding priority, so. Looks like we're going to have to use this to destroy the Embercleave, which is fine. Throwing down another Cleric. More lifelink. I think I got to start getting in with this 7/7 now. Or 8/8. I think it's time to start putting some pressure on our opponent here. They can't block with the Giant. They thought about it. Alright, well, that kind of stinks. They're just gonna go ahead and get rid of our life gain now. I didn't think about that play, but there it is. Where are they gonna go with it though? Oblivion? Honestly, happy with that. Keep the Soulmender up, man. That's more of a that's definitely more important than anything right now because it's just triggering non-stop life gain. Plus we get our Speaker of the Heavens back, which is nice. Oh, they shock it immediately though. It's kind of poop. All right, we got a lot of life off of that, so. All right, so we're gonna kill the Embercleave here. Killing the Embercleave would be great. It's gonna feel good. They're gonna swing in thinking they're getting 6 damage here. Oh, they think they're getting all kinds of damage. Robber of the Rich. They played it pre-combat, so they're probably going to play it, or they're gonna attack with it, which is interesting. I'm a little worried that this is another Embercleave though. That would really, really suck. That would suck bad. I would need to draw another like Fate of Fetters because this is a flying and I can't deal with the flying right now. I just wish I would have played my intervention correctly last time and took the Embercleave with it. Activate my ability, become a 9/9. Let's frickin' go. It's about time you showed up, Vito. It's about time, dude. All right, let's swing in with our 10. I wouldn't mind swinging in with our Oblivion either because then we can get back our Speaker of the Heavens as well. What else we got in the graveyard? This could come back as something. Oh, geez. I wanted to finish that game out. I felt like it was kind of getting really cool. All right. So, yeah, I definitely made a few little tiny mistakes there that we could clean up and make this deck even better. We have to remember that the Skyclave here can bring back things from the graveyard, because I was so scared of their Arcanist for so long. And it turns out, you know, we were fine. As long as they killed the Oblivion, of course. They could have killed the other card that was generating us 1 life, which would have been terrible. But anyways, let's get to the next one. Let's try to get a few more games in. That was a fun one, guys. That was a blast. I didn't think it was going to be that tough to get that win, but we couldn't find a Vito. I think Vito's kind of key here to win any matchup, to be honest. But yeah, this deck feels powerful. I'm happy with the way it's playing right now. I wish there was some way to generate card advantage, but it's all good. I'd love having 2 Faded Fetters, depending on what we're playing, that is. I don't know. I like our land base too. I think we have to keep this, if I'm being completely honest. I'm gonna keep. Two Oblivions. That's pretty good. They have Menace, so that's always really, really good. Interesting. All right, we got right into a Vito. That's awesome. Lotus Cobra is never fun, so they're gonna do some really crazy things. Fate of Fetters though would be really, really nice. Can't attack, block, or activated abilities can't be activated. So these aren't activated abilities when they say landfall. These are more of like a passive ability. So unfortunately, the Lotus Cobra and Omnath all trigger. Oh. Oh, interesting. That's also, that's gonna be tough. Yikes! Yeah, we're gonna be in a bit of a situation here. Troubling situation. Lotus Cobra into Winota. This is something I have not seen yet. Lotus Cobra will die if they swing it again though. Oh, now they got the pup to save it, of course. They're only getting 1 more trigger again. Hopefully they whiff again. That'd be nice. Probably not. Oh wow, they double whiffed. We're getting really lucky here on those whiffs. Gonna kill Lotus Cobra, which is a beautiful thing. Or actually, I keep forgetting they have the Selfless Savior. Alright, well, we can actually Fate of Fetters to Lotus Cobra and they won't get another trigger, at least next turn. So that's kind of big. Swing in here for 2 more. They can't stop it. We're looking really good right now. And the only reason we're looking good, though, is because Lotus Cobra whiffed twice with the Winota trigger. So we got really, honestly, we got really lucky there. This could have gone really bad. And then we have another Fate of Fetters, so we can actually get in for another 4 damage. 5, 6, 7, 8. We have exactly lethal as long as they don't play another creature. They have to swing in with 1 of these and we win the game. Come on, swing in with 1. Just 1. Just 1. I could actually, I still potentially have lethal here with the fight as 1, right? No, because Fate of Feathers is going to use up all my mana here. How do we want to do this? How do we want to do this? I guess. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. We'll do that. I actually don't mind swinging in here though. Do we swing in with both though? I think swinging in with both here, because they're going to have to double commit to the Oblivion. I can use the Oblivion to kill the Intimidator. We still get the 2 off. If they want to block the Vito, that's fine too, because then we get 2 across. And the Vito should trigger, even though it dies. It should trigger. So they have to double commit to the Oblivion. That's my thought process on this, just so you guys understand. I still don't think there's lethal, even if they double block here. That's 2 damage, and then 1 extra damage, so that's 3. Yeah, so we're short by 1 here. But oh, I did not think about the trigger from Intimidator. Nicely done. Nicely done. I did not think about that. I thought for sure I could take out the Intimidator. That's rough. That's a rough one. That's a rough one. All I gotta do is figure out how to gain 1 life next turn. Shouldn't be too hard. Shouldn't be too hard. Okay, gotta figure out how to gain 3 life next turn. Hopefully we can just draw right into a Heliod's intervention just for GG's. I definitely like went really aggressive there, so if we lose now, it's gonna be kind of heartbreaking, to be honest. All right, that's huge. That's a big find. So we're gonna play that, and then play Oblivion, and then leave up fight as 1. That's big. That's big. We could trigger a one point of damage every turn now. Unfortunately, it has Summoning Sickness, so we have to wait 1 turn, but that's a huge find. And these are vampires, and this is a human, so fight as 1 can protect us from a lot of different things here. The only problem is the Skyclave is going to trigger. The Skyclave is going to trigger Winota's ability. Yeah, they're highlighting things. They definitely have something. Good thing we held up the fight as 1. They have indestructibility this turn too, so if they want to swing in, we might as well block because they can't die, so. We're sitting okay at the moment. They choose not to swing in. Okay, and there's a scoop. Yeah, I figured that might be coming because they did eat up a lot of mana to make that play happen, and we still had options on the board. We were going to trigger our 1 damage next turn. God knows what we would have drawn out the top 2. Anything that gained us life there would have won us the game, essentially, because we could have just swung in with the Oblivion for 2, and we had lethal either way. So, GG's, good game. Man, something about ORZHOV just feels so good. Whether it's Life Gain or Doom Foretold, I love the color set of ORZHOV. Anything with black white like Esper, I love it, man. It just feels so clean. Opponent goes first. I like our hand. I don't like having 2 of these. This is gonna be tricky. What's our opponent? A Brazilian flag, huh? So that doesn't really give us much. I'm gonna keep it. I don't know if it's the best, but we're gonna keep it. We have Speaker of the Heavens to start it off, so that's always good. Going second though does not feel great. It never feels great, but like it always feels like Speaker of the Heavens is gonna be a dead card, essentially, if we go first or if we go second, because anything they play is going to be big enough to stop us from swinging in with this. So can't argue with the fate of Fetters though. This card is busted. It's busted in the right decks, and this deck is busted because we gained 4 life. That's so big. We only need 7 life to start creating angels. So our opponent's roping us already, so I'm just talking to myself at the moment. There we go. Oh no, are they a champion? Hey, we're on the board. Let's go. Mono green? Psych. They wouldn't run Fables. Would they? Unless they have landfall. Could be mono green. That would suck if they were mono green and they had to play 2 Fables off the bat. That means their landfall is going to be kind of bad. I don't think so though. Goose indicates they need something with more mana. So probably, yep, more colors. Makes sense. Alright, I'm gonna need lands. Lands. Can you help me out with that game? Please. I hate looking at this thing, but sometimes it's nice. So 11, 13, 3, 5. We've got a lot of opportunity for lands here. Come on, we can do this. They play the Uro, and they eat up their food to do it. So something tells me they didn't have a land in hand. That's probably accurate. So they're missing land drops. That's good. And it seems like they're a pretty heavy ramp deck. 3 Fabled Passages. That's unreal. Hey, we hit the land. Unbelievable. I didn't think we were going to do it. Gonna play that. I think gaining the life is more important than dropping the Oblivion right now, because the Oblivion's also going to gain us life next turn. And gaining life is key here, so we can trigger our speaker. Start getting angels. The sooner we get angels, the better. Hopefully we could just hit a land, throw this down on something, and start pooping out angels. That'd be nice. Get our speaker of the heavens just to start pooping them out. Alright, they've got teamer colors now. I hope there's no counter spells coming our way. You know what? I'd rather this be countered than anything, and I don't know what they're doing yet, so let's just play it. It's not ideal. I'd rather this get countered because I have another one, so. They let it resolve. I think that to me tells me that they're holding up a Bone Crusher Giant. So Speaker of the Heavens is a goner. What's good though is we have a Skyclave, so we can get it back eventually, like if they want to target the Oblivion or something. But yeah, this has Bone Crusher Giant written all over it. We were so close. It survived. Okay. If that was the only instant spell they had this whole time, holding up priority, I don't know what took them so long to make that decision. So the fact that it did take that long still makes me think they have a Bone Crusher. We'll see. They definitely have Omnath dropping on the board this turn. I almost guarantee that. Yep, there it is. All right. We're fine then. I think that we're okay. I don't like seeing Omnath. Obviously, nobody does, but I think we're okay. This right here doesn't do us much good because Omnath is going to trigger their abilities, but it allows us to swing in still and keep getting damage off. So that's what we're going to do. It also lets us get some angels. It lets us create some angels. Angels in the outfield, baby. Man, look at the synergy with our deck, though. Like, every single time we do any sort of interaction at all, no matter what it is, we're triggering life gain, which is huge. We're already at 35 life. Like, that's crazy. Turn 5, we gained 15 life. That's so annoying. They're gonna gain 4 life every time they drop a land. That's so unbelievably annoying. Wow, they missed the next land. Do they have one in hand though? They could have one in hand, but I doubt it. Nice. That's a beautiful, beautiful thing. All right, let's play you, because that's all we really can play. We could do this, but that wouldn't make any sense because we don't have anything in the graveyard. Do we save this? I mean, we could just save that and just Heliod's intervention. Yeah, I'm gonna just hold up my hand. I think it's fine. Yeah, I think we're fine. Just hold it up. Keep pooping out angels, and then we could actually save this for like if they get rid of our Speaker of the Heavens, which they're gonna want to do because all these angels are gonna get way out of hand. And when they do that, I can bring it right back. So because this one target creature card from a graveyard or battlefield. So yeah, we get we get a creature when it dies. If they want to hit this, that's great. We can bring it back. Anything really, we can bring it back. So we're gonna save this to kick it. We can use this to destroy any sort of shenanigans, like the retreat. If they want to play the retreat, I can destroy that. They're highlighting the Speaker of the Heavens. There it is. So we figured that might happen. Now we can Oblivion and bring it back. Ah, there's the arrow. You make me sick. At least it wasn't one casted from the graveyard, so we're okay there. And they seem to keep missing land drops over and over again. I don't think their deck is tuned. I don't think their land is tuned enough, and they decide to scoop. That kind of stinks. I wanted to play the Oblivion to show you guys we can bring back the Speaker and just keep these angel shenanigans going, but that was that'll work. All right, we got time for one last game, and this should be good. This should wrap up the video. I hope you guys had fun on this one. I know I did. This is a really fun deck to craft if you guys crafted it. It's fairly simple to craft. Not a whole lot going on here as far as mythics and stuff like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed and have a lot of fun with this. I like this hand a lot. I like that we have multi-land versus plays, and I like that we have our life spawned. That's huge. So we're gonna start it off with the plains. Hopefully we draw into Speaker of the Heavens or something. That'd be sweet. Or Soulmender. That works too. Sultai, okay. I like your style. I like your style. Activating this now just to get this toughness and everything up like that, so we don't run into any sort of BS, like kill something with 2 toughness or something. I don't know. Black's got a lot of cool weird cards like Elspeth's Nightmare. I think it had triggers for 2 or 3 toughness or something like that, so we want to get this thing pumped up as soon as possible. Oh, the crystal. This is the crystal. Ah, all right. Well, there's that. There's that. Let's play this. This and this dying could bring that back, which is really sweet, but do we want to start dealing damage here? Probably. We don't really have a need to gain any more life at the moment. We don't have anything that can trigger. These are kind of good. They've ramped up pretty heavy here. This could win us the game at the end, but I think we need to land more at the moment. Let's go ahead and play another Soulmender. Say go. No need to swing in. We would just die. If they attack, we have a nice little wall here that they can't really do anything. We're kind of stalemated, which is nice. And then we have a Fate of Fetters, which is really cool. And then also the Skyclave. Alright, I am fine with that. If I were them, I would have cycled that, but they must have something really big they want to do. I have a weird feeling they have Orah, so I'm going to go ahead and save my Fate of Fetters. I think that's pretty much what's happening here. Let's play this. Let's play... Doesn't really matter. Let's go with this because we have another white source. And no attacks. Skyclave can now get in for 3 damage if we choose. They could double block with the Simulaic, whatever the heck, Golem. The Solemn Golem. Now they can triple block. That's really annoying. Alright. How do they draw 3 of these? Unbelievable. Not that it matters. It just... The shuffler is funny. Alright, let's activate and activate. We might run into something big here that's going to start beating us down here. What do we want to do? I kind of want to save these types of plays so that way when we... That way when we find a Vito or something, I don't want to kill these, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're just going to draw cards off of it. So let's just go ahead and skip our turn. If they swing in and get crazy with me, I guess we could do it, but I don't know. I don't think I want to do anything at the moment. I just don't want them to be able to draw cards. It's really kind of annoying. I don't mind that. I don't mind that. We're gaining 3 off of it, so they still get the card though, which is a little bit frustrating. We're gaining so much health though. There's like they're gonna have to do something big to get our health back down, because our board state is fine too. Like we're doing okay on the board state as well. There's the Vito. Now we start winning the game. Here's where we start to win the game. All right, you're gonna make me use this right away. You're gonna make me use this right away, huh? Oh no, it didn't. Oh, unbelievable. That didn't work. Note to self. That play does not work. I knew that too. You know what's sad is I knew that. I knew that having indestructibility does not do anything for minusing on the toughness, but my brain didn't register and it just did it anyways. But you know what? The bright side of everything is we got the Cleric of Bonds back. That's frustrating, man. I don't like making misplays like that. Like, especially when we really needed that card, you know? Sacrifice a creature. I guess we could sacrifice this because we could always get it back if something bigger dies, which is pretty much all my cards are bigger. We only need 1 to trigger the event. Ooh, that's a great find. I say no attacks, and the reason being, I know you guys are probably like, what are you doing? You've got so many creatures that can go wide. We're holding our opponent on not drawing any cards at the moment, and then in a minute, starting on the next turn, we could start swinging in with 4/4 angels that they can't block, and then they're gonna have to just sit with those on the battlefield. So I'm fine with that. I'd rather keep no cards in their hand at the moment and make them play off the top of their deck. I think that's the way to go. Fate of Fetters that, and then we're good to go. That's a good hit. That's a good hit for Fate. Ugh, you're killing me. You're killing me. That's fine. Not the end of the world. Here's where we find out if it triggers. Yeah, it does trigger, so that's awesome. Actually, I'm okay with that. I'm actually okay with that. They shouldn't have done that. Not smart. To be fair, I probably would have done something like that too. Oh, and we find another one? That's huge. But I think right now, this is the more important moment. We need to make sure we stop their life gain. And their card draw. No attacks. I kind of want to... Let's just do this. All right, we're good. End turn. Yeah, our whole engine is on board now. So unless they find like a board wipe, which is like an extinction event or something like that, I hope they don't run. Then we're fine. We're just gonna keep triggering these events over and over and over again. I would like to get this on the field and make me feel a lot better about our situation. Actually, no, we don't have too much in the graveyard. All we have is a Soulmender. Oh, of course they find the one thing with reach. Unbelievable. That's fine. That's fine. We're still triggering our Vito, so we're good. Still hitting the old Vito. That's totally fine. I can care less about that. Gonna do this. Now we have an 8/8. Look at all these triggers. That's crazy. All right, so now we swing in with you and you. Are they going to eat the 9? No, they decide to block the 9. That's what I figured they would do that. That's why we did it. Oh, they actually have protection from multicolored. That's unfortunate. But they eat the 9 regardless, so it's doing its job. It's doing its job of letting the 4/4s get through, so I think that's a wrap. I'm pretty sure they're toast over here. We still got the Soulmender underneath my face over here. You guys can't see, and we still have this, so our triggers are just going off right now. Geez, do I have a new favorite deck? Maybe. I hope you guys really enjoyed this one. Let's go ahead and break it down and wrap this sucker up. All right, welcome back, everybody. That was the games. I hope you guys really did enjoy that as much as I did. I feel like this deck was a whole lot of fun to play, and I really did. I know I enjoy most of the decks that we make on here when we play them, but this one was kind of special because it was I don't know what it is about life gain. It just feels good. It feels good to be like, the game is so stressful when you're always battling and like trying to, you know, get your opponent's life total down. They're trying to get your life total down, and it's kind of a race. But when you're at like 40 health, it's very comfortable, and it makes the game a lot less anxiety ridden. You know what I'm saying? So I do like the life gain a lot, and this is a lot of fun. It's something I'm going to be playing into the future. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I wouldn't honestly change anything. This is one deck I would honestly and truly say I like it. I'm not going to touch it. I think it's great. I would like 2 more pathways, but I'd also love to hear from you guys some ideas that you might have for the deck. I'm sure this is not like the most original deck. There's not much you can do with clerics other than throw in a bunch of clerics. I do like our utility choices here, though. I feel like those really do make this deck pop. But let me know what you guys think. If there's other cards that you would play in the deck, if there's any other flip land cards that you like, that you prefer in the deck. But I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. Also, I always like to do a little special shout out to you guys and just tell you guys how much I absolutely appreciate you making it this far into the video, because it is a big deal, and it helps out with so many different, you know, analytic things, but also the fact that you've just sat here for an hour and supported my channel means a lot to me. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I do appreciate it, and I love each and every one of you guys. And if you could, on your way out, if you're not already subscribed, I'd really appreciate it. So thank you, and we will see you guys on the next one. Peace.